go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time.
Welcome to Crafty Beach. This is Julie, and today I put together 13 of my best coastal Christmas Dollar Tree DIYs. So let's get crafting. For the first one, we're going to need a wreath form, and you can use any of the wire wreath forms from Dollar Tree. I'm actually using one of the 3D ones. They're basically the same thing as the wire wreath forms, except they do have like little tabs on them where you can hook them all together. And basically, I just need one of these, and we're going to make a beautiful coral wreath using those little coral tree ornaments from the Dollar Tree. Those are my absolute favorite because they look just like coral. So this wreath form just has these little tabs, so easy enough. All you got to do is just kind of bend them back and forth with your pliers and they will pop right off. And now we're just going to be left with a wire wreath form that we can use for the structure of this wreath. These are the wonderful ornaments. I'm pretty sure I used 7 packages. So a total of 14 to build this wreath, but we'll have to count. Now, if you haven't found any of these little coral tree ornaments, stick around later in this video. I do have a giveaway where I'm going to be giving away 20 of these ornaments, so you can make all kinds of beautiful coral DIYs as well. So I'm just kind of lining mine up, kind of going opposite directions of how I'm going to want the coral to kind of fan out around the wreath form. Now that was 6 packages, but you're going to need 7 packages to do the final decor on it. But these are what we're going to start with, and this is what we're going to use to make the majority of the wreath. Now, the only thing you have to do is pop off the little tree trunks on these to make them look like coral, and you kind of display them upside down just like that. I kind of started cutting these, but you know what? They're made out of plastic, and I find they're just as easy just to pop off with your fingers as they are with scissors. But we're just going to go ahead and pop the little tree trunk off all of these so they will be ready to go. I've done so many fun DIYs with these. I've made an actual 3D Christmas tree out of these, a little coral Christmas tree. I've made a coral Christmas tree sign in one of my recent videos here at Crafty Beach. And I went ahead and made like a snowflake, I think, out of these as well. They're so pretty and they work so great for winter DIYs. They are covered in glitter, but that's okay. We're going to work with it. So I'm going to go ahead and start laying these out because I'm actually going to paint mine. Now you could leave them the glitter white like they are, but I wanted mine to have a little bit of beachy blue. So I'm going to mix a couple colors together. This is Caribbean blue and ivory mixed together to give me a very soft blue. This is really close to the Cloudless color by Apple Barrel that I use so much. And then I'm just going to go in with a brush and we're just going to paint all of the little coral ornaments. You are going to be losing the sheen with the glitter, so if you like that, you might need to re-glitter yours, but I was kind of going for a more matte look to this little wreath, and so I'm just going to go over all of those and paint them blue. So I did a total of 10 of them right now in the blue color, and then I am going to just start assembling these. You're not going to be able to see the back of them, and I thought that it would be easier to attach these if I did not paint the back of them, so I only painted the tops of them blue, but you're never going to know it. Now to attach it to the wire wreath form, I'm using just some really small little zip ties from the hardware section at the Dollar Tree, and I put it through the little hole hanger on the Christmas ornament, and then just simply zip tie that to my wreath form. Now I noticed that you're probably going to be able to see that dark color of the wreath form through, so I decided to kind of paint mine that same blue color just to kind of make it blend into the coral. If there are any gaps in between the little ornaments that you might be able to see, it's just going to make it look a little bit better. So even though I've already got one attached, I still kind of updated my paint on that. And it's just something that you can do to kind of hide that, because I want that part of the wreath form to be pretty much invisible and blend in with my coral. So I have that one going up. I'm going to be working in the same direction here, slightly overlapping the little coral trees like that, and zip tying that down. And I love this size of the zip ties. They're real small, so it makes it really easy to work with on these. And then I just used hot glue to attach the little coral piece to the coral behind it, since I can't really zip tie down that end. And I'm just repeating the same thing, going down, working in the same direction until I get halfway around my little wreath form like this. And originally I was going to switch directions, but I kind of liked the flow of this, of the coral just branching into the next piece. So I decided to keep repeating that same pattern by zip tying them on and hot gluing it to the one right underneath. And if you're going to use hot glue and you live in warm weather, you might need to use like a stronger glue on this. I ended up using this wreath indoors, and so I didn't really have to worry about it in the Florida heat. So we have got the entire wreath form covered in coral. Now I'm just going to go back in and kind of touch up any of the zip ties that you might be able to see with a little bit of that same blue paint to kind of make those kind of blend in. Now it's time to decorate our little coral reef. I'm going to use the other 4 ornaments that I had. I did not paint these. I left these white with the glitter on them, and we're going to kind of have them fan out from the bottom like that. I'm just going to trim the end off these final 2 pieces down here, just because you're not really going to be able to see those, and I don't want any of that to be visible in the final product. So I am going to attach those with hot glue and just glue those onto the coral ornament, like right underneath. We're going to have like 2 going out to the right, and we're going to have 2 going out to the left. So I kind of glue that one on, kind of jutting more towards the bottom of the wreath. And instead of using a bow to decorate this, I thought we would just use more coral, and I'm so glad I did. This wreath turned out so beautiful. I was just looking at it the other day about putting it back up again this year. I love it. Now for the final touch, I thought one of the little Dollar Tree sand dollars would be perfect. And then I also thought about like maybe one of the starfish, and then I was like, yeah, let's try both. So I picked out 2 of the starfish and 1 of the sand dollar. These are from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree that they come out with every spring and summer at Dollar Tree. And I'm going to mix up that same beachy blue color by mixing Caribbean blue and ivory together. And we are going to paint the little starfish. They paint so well, that blue color. And then I'm going to paint my sand dollar in ivory, just because they're a little bit gray, the ones from the Dollar Tree. And I think they look a little bit better when you paint them. Okay, now that they are painted and dried, we can attach these to our reef. And this is my little Coral Reef, R-E-E-F, for fun. And I glue the little sand dollar right there in the middle. And then we're going to do one of the little blue starfish on each side. I kind of nest it down into the coral next to it, hot gluing it to that second piece of coral. And I really love the blues and the whites on this. I mean, it's beautiful winter decor. You could leave this up all winter long, but look how beautiful it turned out. I'm so glad that I decided to paint mine blue, but I think this would be really pretty in the glitter white as well. So if you recreate this DIY, you'll have to be sure to share it in our Facebook group so that we can see it too. And this is how my little coral reef turned out. Isn't it so pretty? I absolutely love those ornaments, which is why I have stocked up and got a bunch of these that I can share with you in a giveaway later on in this video. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to do that because you're going to need to be subscribed for the contest. Okay, the next DIY, I'm going to make a fun little coastal Christmas tree with one of these little triangular box signs from the Dollar Tree. I was able to find a few weak spots on this where I can just kind of pop the back off. But if you can't, I used one of these in one of my recent Christmas videos here on my channel. You can always hammer out the back if you need to, if you're having trouble getting that off. But basically, you just want to pop that off and clean up the frame. We're just going to ditch the back of it because I want it to be an open triangle so we can do like a little structural Christmas tree, and I wanted to hang a little coastal Christmas ornament right inside. So I tried to get off as much paper as I could there on that, and then I'm just going over it with this color of, I think this is the Caribbean blue, just to give it a nice little coat of teal and cover up all that paper. That is going to be the back, but I still wanted to make it look nicer since nothing's going to be covering it. And then I just flipped it over and did the same thing here on the other side, covering like that MDF part of the wood with the blue. Now I'm going to need a couple of wood beads. These are just regular natural wood beads, and I'm going to paint them that same beachy Caribbean blue color. I'm only going to need a couple of these. I just wanted these to use to make a little coastal Christmas ornament that we can hang inside the Christmas tree. This DIY was really easy to put together, and it turned out so cute. So again, we're using one of the Shore Living sand dollars. I try to stock up every year so that I have enough to use for Christmas of all of their beautiful sand dollars and starfish. And I like to paint mine because they're a little bit gray and just a little bit of ivory. You're going to be able to see this from the front and the back though, so I went ahead and painted the back of my sand dollar ivory too. Now I just have to figure out how to do this since I'm kind of going in the top corner of that Christmas tree, how we're going to attach it in there. And I start out with just some wood beads. These are like the smaller wood beads that are already strung. I'm going to use those in combination with the blue beads that we painted. And just kind of string them into a really cute little pattern, like 2, 1, 2, 1, like that. And then we can hang the little sand dollar right inside. I decided that it was too long, so I ditched one of the blue ones and tied the twine just into the slot there on the little Dollar Tree sand dollar. And then I decided, you know what, I might be able to get it to fit. So I popped the blue one back on and knotted up my twine to tie off this cute little ornament. And then it's just a matter of attaching it to this corner. I just put some hot glue in the very top of my triangle sign and then hot glued that blue bead right in place where it will stay secure up there, but the little Christmas ornament can dangle down inside the little Christmas tree shape. So now that we have that all constructed, I do want to decorate my tree a little bit to make it more like a Christmas tree. So it's got the Christmas tree shape, but I thought maybe it might need a tree topper and like a little bit of a trunk. So for the tree topper, I'm going to use one of these little blue molded starfish. I get these on Amazon. I do have them posted in my Amazon shop below. And I love these. They come in white and blue, I know, because I use both of them. I'm just going to hot glue that to the very top of my sign. And then I just need a little tree trunk. I have some scrap wood that I'm going to use to make that, but you could always make this part with those little jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree. That would work really well. I'm just going to slice off a little piece so that I don't want it to be tipping over, so I don't want it to be super tall, but I do want it to have, you know, just the shape of having a tree trunk. I think it gives it more of the Christmas tree vibe. Just kind of testing it out. Is this going to work or not? And I think it is. So I'm just going to hot glue the top of that wood block and set my little Christmas tree right here on top. And there it is, our little sand dollar Christmas ornament Christmas tree. You could actually do any kind of a Christmas ornament hanging it down inside, but I think the sand dollar just makes a perfect one. And this is how it turned out. Super easy to DIY this, and another fun version of something you can turn the little triangle signs from the Dollar Tree into a Christmas tree. It's definitely beachy. I love the wood of the frame. I think that goes great with the coastal decor. And guys, I told you about that contest. These are those little coral Christmas trees that we're going to be giving away later on in today's video. So be sure to stay tuned here at Crafty Beach. Okay, on to the next coastal Christmas DIY. We're going to use 2 of the little wood rounds from Dollar Tree, and we're going to make a really fun Christmas door wall hanging with some jingle bells, but we're going to make ours a coastal version of a Christmas tree. So what I did was I just removed the hanger off one of my wood rounds, and these are the bells that we're going to use. I know they have different sizes at Dollar Tree, but those are the ones that I chose. Then we're also going to use some of the Dollar Tree white nautical rope. Now, I like these wood rounds, but I think they're too thin, and so how I like to make them chunkier is to kind of put something in between it to make it a nice thick sign. And I thought the white rope would look really nautical and go with our coastal style, so I'm just taking that white rope from the Dollar Tree and hot gluing that around the edges of one of my wood rounds, but leaving the hanger already on there like that so we can use that later. Now, so this will be the front piece of our sign. I want to kind of fill in those holes because I don't really need them for a hanger on the front. And so I just put a little spackle in those first, and then we can go in and paint this a nice beachy color. Again, I'm using Caribbean blue mixed with a little ivory just to make a really soft beachy blue color. Very similar to Cloudless by Apple Barrel, which I love. And I'm just going to go over the front of the wood round like that, making sure it's nice and beachy blue. 1 coat of paint is plenty. Now, I do want to give it that coastal farmhouse vibe, so once I get it dried, I'm going to go in with just some ivory and a little chunky brush from Dollar Tree, and we're just going to distress this ever so lightly to kind of give it that coastal farmhouse charm. So just kind of working in one direction like this. You can always go back with a baby wipe and kind of blend that in a little bit. Just give it a little bit of a coastal edge. And then we can start building our little Christmas tree out of jingle bells. But first I want to attach it back to our sign. So I already have the rope glued onto this one. I just quickly go around the top of this one with the glue on the rope, and then we can lay our new blue sign right on top. That what sandwiches it together, but it makes it the same thickness as that Dollar Tree rope. So it made it a nice thick chunky sign. But you know, the rope also gives it a fun little coastal touch. Now, these are the jingle bells I use. These are the ones that come 20 in a package, but you could always mix it up if you can't get this exact size. I noticed they do have quite a different variety of these. I just tried to get all of them the same size. And so I want to make it look like a Christmas tree, but I want that Christmas tree to be made out of bells. I do want it to have a tree topper though. So again, these are the white ones of the little molded starfish that I get on Amazon that I have in my shop below, and this one is going to be white. I think that's going to be perfect. So I wanted to make sure I had enough room for that. And then every row of the Christmas tree, I can just add 1 more jingle bell until I get that great Christmas tree shape. So now it's just a matter of figuring out how to attach the jingle bells to our sign. And I wanted to see if I had room for 1 more row, and I think I do. So I'm going to start right here at the top. I'm going to start with the tree topper, and we're just going to start gluing this on. Try to center my tree topper to the top, and then our 1 jingle bell for the very top row. And we're just going to glue all of these on until we have that great Christmas tree shape. So I'm going to start here with the second row, and I kind of nest 1 row inside the next one. And that's how I got my spacing on these. So we're going to glue row number 3. And I'm actually doing this a little bit tighter than I had originally laid out. So it's actually going to leave us another row here at the end to do 1 more row. And I wanted my Christmas tree to be as big and as full as possible. So we're just going to continue gluing these on. Just add one more bell for every row. And the great thing about this little Christmas tree wall hanging is that it's gonna jingle. So I end up hanging mine on my garage door. I thought that was a perfect place to put it because every time you come in and out of the garage, you're gonna get some Christmas jingles. So that's how it looked with just up to the 6. So we're gonna do another row of 7. I think we have plenty of room, and I'm just going to hot glue those here to the bottom. I do want to add a few more coastal touches to this to kind of give it more of a Christmas tree vibe, but that is the jingle bell part. So for the trunk, I actually have a piece of driftwood. Mine was a little too long, so I'm just going to take it to my saw and chop that down a little bit so we can add this to the bottom of our Christmas tree. So I think that looks good. I'm just going to use some hot glue to attach it. Right here, trying to center it with my tree. And then I thought, maybe a few presents under the tree. So after I get all of my hot glue strings cleaned up, I'm going to go in and instead of presents, we're going to use little seashells as presents. So these are those little tiny seashells that you get from the Dollar Tree in the little glass bottles. I love DIYing with these. And I'm just going to attach these with hot glue to kind of represent little presents under our tree and give it the perfect little coastal touch there. Just using a variety and kind of staggering those all over until I think it looks nice and full. And then I'm just going to, I kind of like the white star on the top, but I really kind of wanted it to be ivory to kind of go more with my coastal decor. And so even though I've already attached it, I did update mine here with a little bit of ivory paint to make it perfect. And just try not to get any on my sign. And then I wanted to add some kind of a ribbon. And so this is actually some of the Shore Living ribbon from Dollar Tree. It's like a light blue. It's a perfect match to this, but it's got little starfish all over it instead of like regular Christmas stars. So I thought that'd be really cute. All I'm gonna do is tie a simple bow here where you can see all of the pattern of the starfish, making sure to kind of twist and turn my bow so that you can see that. And we're actually going to attach it just to the hanger because I don't really want to cover up my Christmas tree, but I do want it to have a little bow at the top. I'm going to just attach that to the twine hanger with some more twine, just tying that over my bow. Kind of wrapping it around that middle section, which really didn't have much of a pattern on there anyway. It's just going to decorate the hanger a little bit, give it a little bit more of a festive vibe. But I think this turned out really cute. It's our little Jingle Bell coastal Christmas tree wall hanging. Look how cute this is. And it jingles, so that is super fun. Let me show you how it looks on my garage door for Christmas. I loved crafting with the jingle bells. Anything that I can make jingle, make noises like that for Christmas, I think is going to be a lot of fun and add to the Christmas spirit. But this definitely has a coastal vibe with the colors, the starfish, and the seashells, and the driftwood, I guess, too. Okay, let's try another version of a coastal Christmas tree. This time we're going to be using some of the burlap rolls and the mesh ribbon from Dollar Tree and simply one of the Dollar Tree giant birthday party hats. These make a great tree shape. They do have like tinsel coming out of the end and around the brim of the hat, but that's okay. We can just trim off that part. It's easy enough to cut off the tinsel there on the top. The bottom is like kind of like glued on a little bit more than you would think. And so I just kind of ripped mine off, but you can still kind of see a little bit of the glue and stuff like that. So you're probably going to have to just cut off the bottom row of your little party hat if you want to get all of that off. And that's what I did. I just kind of cut on the outside of that strip of glue just to clean it up and give us a perfect cone shape without any of that annoying tinsel in the way. And this is made out of cardboard, so it is fairly sturdy. I think it's going to be plenty strong enough to make a little burlap Christmas tree. I thought that would be really coastal and fun. A great way to use this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree. I absolutely love this stuff. And I just kind of have to figure out a technique that I can use to cover this conical shape like that with the ribbon, because you can't just simply wrap it around. You're gonna have to do something a little bit more creative. I actually went online to try to figure out the technique for this, and I found what another crafter had done, and I'll kind of show you, take you through the process. So I'm gonna start here at the bottom with our burlap ribbon, and I am just going to hot glue that right there up against the very bottom of the little party hat. And then I'm going to work it around the Christmas tree like this. And as you can see, I'm only hot gluing it to the very bottom there, where it will be tight up against the conical shape. And I go all the way around until I meet up with the original ribbon. Now, this is the technique they showed me. It's going to make like a little bit of a kind of a pleat or a ruffle on it to get it to cover it, but it actually worked out pretty well. So I hot glue the part that I can to keep it tight. And then when I get to a part where it kind of gaps out, I just cut a little crease in the ribbon. And then I go back in with my next piece and glue that down, overlapping the piece underneath of it, where it is all kind of tight, and you get that little bit of a burlap pleat there. I'm going to work that around as much as I can where it's tight. When it starts to really poke out from the tree again, I am just going to cut a little slit in it and then glue that down tight to that cone shape and glue that over itself here on the burlap. And we're going to just keep repeating that. I just glue it till I need to cut a slit, gluing that down. And I just keep doing that, working around. So the little pleats and the burlap are going to be, kind of randomly placed throughout the tree. And it does kind of give it a little bit of a frilly look, but I liked it in the end. If you wanted to use like a large piece of burlap, you might be able to get like a little bit of a tighter fit without having to do this, but this is definitely a way you can get that really kind of difficult shape while wrapping it with burlap ribbon. So these rolls are really long, so there's going to be plenty to go across the entire tree. I just keep working with that same row, gluing it down, cutting a slit, gluing that part down, and continuing that same pattern until we cover the entire party hat. It is, a pretty big party hat, and so it actually ended up being a pretty nice sized coastal Christmas tree. Now I'll show you what I do when I get to the very tip up here at the top. Once I get it pretty much as tight as I can get it, I am just going to kind of wrap it around like this, where I have a little bit of excess fabric here, gluing everything down and then just cutting slits until I get a perfect little cone shape. And then I can kind of glue that to itself, forming a little, rustic burlap tip there to our Christmas tree. Now I did use hot glue pretty much all over, so I'm just going to have to clean that up a little bit with some heat. I like to do that to get any of the strings off. And this is what it looks so far with the little pleats all over. It kind of gives it a cool vibe. And it is a fun way to make a little burlap Christmas tree. Now, since it's a coastal Christmas tree, we definitely need to decorate it. I love this Dollar Tree mesh ribbon because it kind of reminds me of fishing net. I think it gives you that vibe. It comes in a couple different colors. I'm going to use this like ivory or white color. I think that's going to make a nice contrast up against the burlap. And we're going to use that like garland. So we're just going to simply wrap the Christmas tree with that, having it kind of go down in like a spiral fashion, like you would decorate a Christmas tree. So I just hot glue it right up here to the tip and just put a little hot glue on it to make sure it stays close to the burlap every now and then as I'm working my way down the little Christmas tree. And this definitely gives it a fun coastal vibe. I think this ribbon is so cool. And I'm going to do that all the way to the bottom, cutting off the excess and kind of gluing that part down as well. So that's what we have so far for a little burlap tree. I didn't really like the fact that it kind of stuck out a little bit from the tree. So I'm kind of folding it over itself to make it a little bit skinnier. That way it makes it just a little bit tighter up against the burlap. And that is kind of how I ended up with that. And then I thought it needs Christmas ornaments because it's a Christmas tree, right? So I thought we could make some fun coastal Christmas ornaments using these little wood ocean creatures from the Shore Living line at Dollar Tree. I love these things, but sometimes it is, you kind of forget about them to use them, but these would make great ornaments. I love the fact that they don't have holes or anything in them like that, so it's going to make them even easier to use. So I thought sea turtles would be perfect. So we're going to pick out some of those. I also have like some little wood dolphins and seashells. So I picked out like a total of 3 of everything except for 4 of the little sea turtles. And we're going to mix that same beachy blue color together by the Caribbean blue and the ivory color to give us this soft blue color. And I do a couple in that color. And then I add a little bit of turquoise to that color just to give me kind of a different color of blue for the dolphins. And I'm just using a makeup sponge to paint those. I think that's going to be plenty. And then added both kind of colors together to give me even a different color of blue here for the seashells. Once I get those dried, I do want them to look coastal, farmhouse distressed slightly. So I just take a chunky brush with a tiny bit of ivory paint on there and just give them a quick dry brush to give them that coastal farmhouse charm. And I ended up ditching one of the little sea turtles there because I didn't think I would need it. So now it's just a matter of attaching our ornaments. Since we're just attaching to burlap, it's super easy. All you have to do is glue the little wood sea creature shapes right onto the burlap. And I'm going to do it kind of the areas here in between their little netting garland. And we're going to alternate these different shapes all around the little Christmas tree. So super easy, just a dot of hot glue and kind of keep them random, trying to mix up the pattern as I work my way down the little Christmas tree. I want to kind of decorate pretty much all over where you're going to be able to see them. Another little sea turtle here, and finally a dolphin down here. And I think that's enough little beachy ornaments to decorate a little burlap tree. It is coming together nicely. Now, since it's a Christmas tree, I did want it to have a tree topper, and there's nothing better for coastal Christmas for a tree topper than a starfish. So I'm going to use one of the little Dollar Tree starfish. They are made out of like white plastic, but I'm just going to give mine a little bit of an ivory finish by painting it with some ivory acrylic paint. Just gives it a little bit more of a realistic, like bleached out starfish vibe. And I just got back from Key West on vacation with my son for his birthday, and there was was it Shell World? Shell World there. I said, do not let me go into that store, and I like evaded it. And then my son was like, no, I really want to go in that store. And then he got me to go in this giant shell paradise. I was really good though. I did get some shells there, some fun things like urchins and stuff like that, and a lot of fun starfish and shells. And so I can't wait to craft or display all of those. Now for the bottom of the little tree, I'm just using Dollar Tree brown rope and just gluing a little border here just to kind of finish off the bottom. It's going to give it, another texture, another fun little coastal vibe, and kind of finish off the very bottom of that to make it look less like a party hat down there. And then now that we have our little tree topper all painted ivory, we can hot glue that to the top of our tree. And the reason I painted the back of that is because it is like a tree topper. You're going to be able to see the starfish from both sides. And I just attached that with hot glue on the very top of our little burlap Christmas tree. And this was really fun to put together. Who would know that was a little tinsel Dollar Tree party hat underneath? The burlap definitely gives it a beachy vibe, and if you don't want to decorate yours coastal, I think you could pretty much decorate that with whatever you wanted. You could even do little globes on there if you wanted to do a more traditional feel. But this is how it turned out. Again, you do have to pleat your burlap if you're going to use that burlap ribbon to get that great conical shape like that, but it kind of gives it a little bit more character and charm like that as well. And this is how it turned out, our little burlap coastal Christmas tree. Hey guys, I wanted to let you know that I've introduced memberships here on my channel. For $4.99 a month, you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos, and it's a quick, easy way for you to support me here on YouTube. All you have to do is hit the join button on my page. Now for the next coastal Christmas DIY, I wanted to do a nautical version of a macrame Christmas tree. So I actually have some of these little bamboo pieces. These are craft materials that I got on Amazon, and they are in my shop. But if you wanted to use Dollar Tree dowels for this, you probably could get a very similar result. But I have these, so I thought I might as well use them. I'm going to go ahead and cut them down. I'm just using my miter scissors here to cut 2 pieces the same length to form the sides of our little Christmas tree. And then I'm also going to need a piece here for the bottom. I was trying to think if that was a little bit skinnier than I really wanted, and I think it is. My little leftover piece there, so I'm going to cut a 3rd piece down here, just the right size. And that's going to form like the frame of my Christmas tree. And then I also need some structure here in the middle to make the cool macrame pattern. And so I'm going to use another piece right here for the center. Just like that. I went ahead and cut mine down, but I probably should have left this longer to serve as the tree trunk. But I wasn't thinking about that at this point. And so now it's just a matter of putting this together. I'm just gonna little hot glue the little bamboo pieces. I've used these to make a lot of coastal crafts, including like a coastal like toilet paper holder for my bathroom and stuff like that. They're really fun to craft with, and you get a ton of them in a package. So I'm just kind of staggering mine. And then I glued the bottom piece on the top of both pieces like that. But I don't need to glue the middle part on yet because I want to do a cool little macrame thing here on the very bottom of my Christmas tree. Now, Dollar Tree does have macrame cord available now in pretty much the same color as this rope, so you could definitely use that if you wanted. I am going to do a little coastal rope version of this. So this is kind of the thinner white rope from the Dollar Tree, and then we are just going to simply unwind it into 3rds to make great macrame cord to make the little coastal Christmas tree. So I just kind of loop it like that, kind of figure out how long I want it to be, and then I just need to cut little pieces of the rope 3rds in that same length. So before I attach it, I went ahead and cut out a 2nd one so I'll know how long to make it. I form a loop just like this, take it over the little bamboo piece, and then pop my ends through, kind of tying it off. Now I don't want it to be super long, which is why I cut it that length, so you have to be careful to get all of your rope through like that, but basically it just ties it off just like that. So each time I attach one, I just cut an extra one. That way they will all be the same length, and I just loop it coming in from the same direction, so my knots will all be going the same way and pulling down the tail. Super easy, and it's going to give you like that fun like macrame fringe, but you only have to use the Dollar Tree rope. So I'm just going to continue that until I fill up the entire bottom of this Christmas tree. And this is going to give it a lot of character. I really liked how this looked, and so we're going to actually do another coastal version of a macrame tree in this video, kind of using this technique because I think it turned out pretty cool. So that looks about good. I want it as tight as I can get it here though, with no wood showing through. So I fill it all the way up. Now once I have it all on there and I have it all coming down like that, I just take a regular comb, I'm just using a hair comb, and combing out the rope into like little individual fibers to give it that like tassel appearance. And it kind of makes it kind of all blend into one. But it also does kind of like bring out the imperfection in the length of them. So once you get it combed out, you're going to want to give it a quick trim with your scissors to kind of give it a more uniform look. And now we can attach the center part of our Christmas tree. That's actually going to form a lot of the structure for this. I really saw like a high-end like macrame Christmas tree for sale at a store that had a really cool woven pattern, and I thought we could kind of recreate that. So I just attach it with hot glue there to the tip and just on top of our little rope fringe, kind of trying to make sure that I got it in the very center of my Christmas tree. So that's the structure that we have so far. And then to fill it up, we're going to use that same Dollar Tree rope unwound into the third parts. So I'm going to start right here in the corner by hot gluing that down to give me a starter piece. I'm going to want that to be really secure because I'm going to be kind of pulling and tugging at that to kind of weave that in and out of the Christmas tree. Now I think this would look really cute with that macrame cord as well because it's going to be a little bit thinner, but it definitely works with a Dollar Tree rope. So I just put some tape, just some masking tape on the end of my rope so it doesn't get all frayed out while I am weaving it in and out of the frame. So to do that, I go around the little middle section of the Christmas tree. I went behind mine, and then I'm making a loop, having it come out the very bottom like that. So that is going to weave it around that very middle section and then have it come out the other side to give like a little wrap around effect like that. So that is the look that I'm going for. I go behind it, around, and then down, looping that through. And then I'm coming over here to the other side of my Christmas tree, pulling that around the back. I am going to have to use a little dot of hot glue to secure it here to kind of make this little area stay in place as well. And then I can go and kind of repeat that pattern, but doing it from the opposite side. So I go under the little middle section like that. I'm going to wrap it around and pull it through like that. Now, once I got it on there, I was trying to see if like I am continuing the same pattern or not, and I think it worked out. So I'm just going to loop this side over, basically repeating the same thing that I did on the other side. So for the ones on the left that I'm coming in the center pole, I go under, and then the ones from the right, I loop it and I have the rope come out on top. So I'm kind of alternating them. And it's going to fill up the entire middle section of the pole. It's going to be completely covered in twine, but the outer sections, you can still see some of the wood shining through. And it gives it this really beautiful woven appearance. Now that's how long my piece of rope was, so I did have to start and stop a new piece. I just kind of did it on the back, on a little crossbar so that you couldn't really tell. And then I continued that same pattern, weaving that all the way up the Christmas tree until it is all covered in this great macrame design. I think this is so fun. It was really fun to make. I definitely like doing ideas like this when I'm like watching a TV or a show or something like that. You just have to kind of make sure that you are doing your pattern exactly the right way. Otherwise, you're going to be able to notice it here at the end. So I just get that woven as tight as I can. I want to fill up as much of the Christmas tree as I can where no more will fit. I just hot glue my twine down, and in all of that weaving, I did kind of mess up like the macrame that I had done here on the bottom. So I'm just going to comb that back out, kind of clean that up a little bit. And then we can further put this Christmas tree together and decorate it for Christmas. Isn't that a cool design? I think that'd be really cool to kind of make like a macrame sailboat or something like that out of too. Now it's time to like kind of stand it up. I thought we could use a Dollar Tree wood cube for the base of it and another piece of that bamboo for the tree trunk. That's why I was saying I probably should have left that one piece of the wood longer because it could have served as a tree trunk. But that's okay, we can still add one now. These are the little wood blocks from the Dollar Tree. I thought this would make a nice little Christmas tree base. It's pretty much to scale with the little Christmas tree that we made. I do need to kind of have a slot in it though to be able to put that little bamboo slice down inside. So I just used a like flathead screwdriver and a hammer, and I'm just going to kind of make a little slot in there. That wood is pretty easy to mold with just a little bit of force. And I just needed to make mine a little bit bigger because I wanted this to be nice and strong. So I just kept digging it out a little bit at a time as I went until I could get it in there long enough to make it super strong. Now I do need to attach this part to the tree, and we're just going to attach it to the back of our little macrame Christmas tree. But I do need to cut mine down a little bit. I don't want it to be too long, but I want it to be like attached enough there to hold it. So I just hot glue that to the back of my macrame Christmas tree. Just coming down straight there in the middle, where then I can attach the very bottom to the wood block and stand it up. Now to decorate it, I thought it needed a little tree topper. So I'm going to try some of these like little real starfish. I get these on Amazon. Aren't they so cute? I get them in both ivory and blue. Perfect scale for a little tiny tree topper. And I love the fact that they're real little starfish. And then for Christmas ornaments, I thought we could use the little Dollar Tree bottled seashells. I absolutely love these. I thought I would do a variety of seashells, and we could kind of scatter those all out on our little macrame Christmas tree, just gluing it to the rope. I wanted a variety of different kinds of shells, but I'm kind of really going for like the white, the tan, the brown ones. Kind of give them all the same vibe. And just kind of scatter those all over. I don't want it to be too crowded, but I definitely want it to be a coastal. Now it's time to attach it. I put a little hot glue down here in the slot that we created on the Dollar Tree wood block and just put our little bamboo stick down right inside. And I was worried that this was not going to be super sturdy, but once you get it in there and level, it actually turned out pretty good. Now to kind of disguise the front of the wood block, I'm just going to use a seashell that I found at the beach, and I'm just going to simply hot glue that to the front, leaving all the wood and everything on that natural that's going to go with the wood frame of the macrame tree and the coastal farmhouse look that I love so much. And this is how it turned out. Our little macrame Christmas tree. It looks beautifully woven, and I would like to see this done with the macrame cord from the Dollar Tree. I mean, it would be easier. You could all use one roll. You probably wouldn't have to start and stop, and then you wouldn't have to unroll your rope. But this is how it turned out. I think it's so coastal and fun. Definitely goes with my beachy decor, but it's a little fun piece of Christmas as well. And it turned out really lovely. Hey guys, I wanted to take a quick moment out of today's video and let you know about my Facebook group. I always have it linked in the description of all my videos. You can come join us on Facebook. We would love to see what you're DIYing. You can get great ideas from everyone else, and you'll find out when I post new videos here on YouTube. I also have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest, and my handle is Crafty Beach on YouTube. Okay, back to the DIYs. This is similar to the little triangular shape, but this is the little house shape box from the Dollar Tree. Again, it doesn't really matter what pattern you get on the back because I'm going to go ahead and try to pop that off. What we're going to do on this DIY is we're going to make a really cute little coastal nativity scene. So fun. I got the inspiration from this from kind of a more like rustic version, but I kind of wanted to do a kind of a coastal take on it. So again, I'm just trying to find a little weak point here where I can kind of get my little Cricut scraper back there so that I can pull that off and then just kind of remove any of the paper because it's definitely going to tear when you pop that off. If it's really tacked on there though, again, you might need to use a hammer and just kind of tap it out from the front. I love the wood frame on this. I think that's going to go perfect for the coastal decor. Now for the back piece, we are going to be using the back piece on this one. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to recreate it. First, we just have to get rid of this tag. It's not too bad, but it did want to come off in lots of little pieces for me. And I want to be able to decorate the very back of the sign and make that the new back to our sign. Because the paper is all ripped and everything on this side. So I'm just going to kind of mask that, cover it up, give myself a pretty back by using just some wood contact paper from the Dollar Tree just over that ripped paper. Then I can just use a little sanding block to give myself a perfect cut all the way around. And just a quick, easy way. It's always easier to kind of DIY the back of the Dollar Tree signs, because it's going to give you just a blank canvas. And especially when paper tears like this, this is definitely going to take care of that problem. So that's our new back, and this is our new front. I'm going to do like a kind of a driftwood feel for this. So I mixed some ivory paint together with some antique wax by Waverly, and it gives me a really fun driftwood color. I'm just going to paint it working in one direction, just going down and leaving some of the brown showing through to kind of give it that wood grain effect and make it, you know, more than one color. Once I got that on and dried, I'm going to distress it with just some straight antique wax by Waverly to even add a little bit richer, warm colors to it and kind of blend that all in with a baby wipe, just kind of working in one direction until it looks fun and driftwood-like like that. So now we can just go back in and reattach the little house frame to the back. I just go around with a bead of hot glue all around, trying to work quickly before that starts to set up, and lay that straight onto our house, trying to get that on there as tight as possible. If you wanted, you could always use your staple gun to put that on as well, but I just think the hot glue is a little bit faster and easier. Now it's time to make our little nativity people and manger. So we're going to do that with the little Jenga blocks from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to lay 2 on their side to make a little manger. 1 for Joseph, 1 for Mary, and 1 for baby Jesus. Kind of like that, where Joseph and Mary will be standing behind him. For the heads, we're just going to use some wood beads like that to form little heads for the bodies. Again, these are going to be very primitive, not a lot of details, but super cute. So I kind of have it mapped out how I want to put this together, and now it's just a matter of assembling them. So I'm just going to leave the manger just regular wood, not stained or painted or anything like that. And I'm just going to glue it together where it kind of forms a V or an L, I guess, shape there. To form the manger. Now for little Joseph and the little Mary here, we're going to paint them a fun beachy blue, and that's going to make them look like they're wearing like a blue gown or something like that. I'm just using Caribbean blue for this one, and a turquoise color for this one. So they're both like beachy blue colors, but they're going to be a little bit different and complement each other nicely. And I just paint, you know, the sides of them as well, in case you're going to be able to see them and kind of like the little shadow box nativity that we're making. Now, baby Jesus is going to need to be a little smaller, and so I just use my little miter scissors to cut that Jenga block down into a baby size shape. I had to try a couple of times because the miter scissors do work for that, but sometimes they can splinter those. So I think that looks like a good baby Jesus size, about half the size of his parents there. And then we're going to use some burlap. This is the Dollar Tree rolled burlap, but this is really going to come in handy. We're going to use that to cover the baby to kind of make it look like he's swaddled up, right? So I just used the end of mine. I had a new roll there, kind of had a few finished edges, so I might as well take advantage of those. And I'm going to wrap them around the little baby block and attaching that with hot glue, giving a little burlap swaddle for the baby. And I guess you could make this without a manger and have like one Joseph or Mary like holding the baby, but I really like the idea of the manger. Now for the head, I'm just going to use the wood bead. I went ahead and glued mine on with like the hole down and the hole up on my wood bead like that, so you won't be able to see the hole too obviously from the sides. And that looks pretty good. Now for Joseph and Mary, we're just going to go ahead and attach the little wood beads as heads, just kind of the same way. And it gives you this little peg-shaped body. And we're going to do the same one over here. I am going to decorate them a little bit more to kind of give them some character with that burlap. And I love using the burlap for this. I just cut a little strip here to go over the head, and I'm just gluing that to the sides of the Jenga block like that. for a little head covering. Super simple and cute like that. And then I'm going to do something a little different with the other one. I cut a little strip as well, but instead of draping it down, I just glue it to the top of the wood bead and wrap that around, kind of forming like almost a little bit of a turban shape for the male for Joseph. Just trimming up any of my burlap that may have frayed there, but he kind of has like that hat appearance instead of it coming down on the sides. But you know what? You could do them both the same if you wanted to, but I thought that gave him a little bit more of a masculine vibe. And then baby Jesus will be sitting here in the manger. They're going to be kind of behind it. That's why I did the little Jenga blocks on their side to form the manger, to make sure that this is going to be deep enough. And then it's just a matter of hot gluing Mary and Joseph back here, right where I want them. I'm going to kind of stagger them to make him look like he's taller. And then baby Jesus is going to kind of cover the bottom of them and kind of clean that image up. I just glue him on here as well, laying flat like they were. Isn't that so cute? It was so fun to put together. Then I'm going to use a little bit of Dollar Tree raffia. I actually got this at Goodwill. It's funny when you can get items at Goodwill. Sometimes I'll buy them at Goodwill for the same price. A lot of times they want to charge more at Goodwill. And I'm like, you guys do know this came from the Dollar Tree, right? Sometimes you can get stuff there that you can't find in stock at your Dollar Tree. I just grabbed some of it and tied a knot in the middle to form a little bundle of raffia to kind of give me the appearance of hay to go under the baby manger. And I just hot glue that to the back of the little house shape, kind of fanning it out just to make it look like hay. Definitely has that same kind of appearance. And then I want to give it a coastal touch. So for my little Christmas star, I'm going to use a starfish. Again, these are the little tiny starfish I get on Amazon. And they are perfect, I think, for the top of this manger. And how quick and easy was this? I absolutely loved it. I did think it needed a few more beachy touches. And so I'm going to fill the bottom of the manger with some seashells because that's my jam. And I just glue those to the bottom, just kind of staggering those all over. But if you didn't want to do a coastal version of this, it would be super cute as well. You can kind of switch up your colors to anything that you wanted and just kind of omit the seashells. Isn't that so cute? I absolutely love how this turned out. Here they are in all their glory. A very simple little manger scene. You could always add more people to this as well if you wanted to make a bigger manger, but I thought it was so quick and simple to do, but it turned out so beachy and beautiful for Christmas. Okay, and next DIY, I told you we were going to do another version of the macrame tree, so let me take you through the steps on that. We're going to use a Dollar Tree wood block, a smaller one this time, and some more of the bamboo pieces. Again, you could totally do this with the Dollar Tree wood dowels if that's all that you have. And I want to make a cool Christmas tree version where we do all the different rows of the Christmas tree, working our way up with the macrame like we did on the bottom of the macrame Christmas tree we did before. So I'm going to start out just by unwinding the Dollar Tree rope again into thirds and cutting out little loops just like we did before. And then I can just loop them and tie them. I'm doing about 6 inches. And so I'm just going to go ahead and cut as many of these as I can to go ahead and get started. And this is going to be the very bottom of my Christmas tree. So this is definitely going to be the whitest part. And I'm just going to go through. You just have to make sure you put your loop on the same side when you have the little pieces go through. That way all of your knots look exactly the same. And I think that is plenty to fill the first row. So we did a total of 6. We're going to go ahead and cut the next row down, like 1 knot smaller, and then just keep cutting these out. Again, these are going to be 6 inches as well. We're just going to have 1 less of them as we work our way up our Christmas tree, just reducing one of the loops each time. And again, super fun to make. And so this is just another version. You might like this one a little bit better than the first one, but I think they're both beautiful and unique. So we did a total of 5 on this one, making those nice and tight. And then I'm going to cut the next one just 1 knot shorter. And that's exactly how I aligned it all up. And I'm going to keep doing that until I go all the way to the top of the Christmas tree, where I will only need 1. So this row needs a total of 4. And I was kind of keeping track with that too, just with my ruler, because I kind of cut them per row. So this one's only going to need 3. And again, you could totally do this with a macrame cord from the Dollar Tree. It's going to be a little bit thinner than this if you wanted a thinner version of the macrame. We're definitely getting shorter up here. This one's only going to need 2. And then the next one's only going to need 1. Now, we're not going to leave them just like ropes like that. We're going to comb them out like we did before with the very bottom of our little macrame Christmas tree. And for that, I am just using a hair comb and just brushing those. It makes all of the rope come untied. And then you do have to kind of trim them as you go to clean it up a little bit, because some of the pieces will look a little bit longer than the others, no matter how straight you get it on there. So just kind of combing those out. They kind of form like one layer of string. And they give you that cool, like, you know, fringe look that you want with macrame. Now, once I get all of these combed out, then we can put these all together. I thought we could build them very similar to the one we did the first time. It's just going to need a trunk to kind of hold everything together in the middle of the tree. And then we can use the Dollar Tree wood block for the little sturdy base. So I got them all trimmed and combed out. And then we're going to use this burlap piece to put them all together. I'm just making sure that I have them all going the same direction. And I'm just going to start with hot glue, gluing this one to the very tip. That's the top of the Christmas tree. And I'm going to want to overlap them ever so slightly. So I kind of pick up this row and kind of glue or nest that one underneath of it, where that kind of covers the top part of the knots on the next row. And then we're just going to continue that all the way down with a dot of hot glue each time. Super easy. You just have to kind of find the center of your piece as you're putting it on there, and don't forget to kind of nest it out. If you wanted to start from the bottom, the nesting part of going one over the top would probably work a little bit better, but I did want to start at the top, so I would have it at the very end. Just going to kind of recomb that out, straighten it up, make it look a little bit cleaner now that I've been working with it. And I'm also going to attach a little bit more hot glue here on the sides of the back just to make it a little bit sturdier. I am now going to cut this little bamboo stick down a little bit here to make it the right length, and we can stand this up. And again, I'm just using a hammer and a flathead screwdriver to make the perfect little hole here in our box, or we can put that little bamboo stick down inside. It's just kind of a matter of hollowing it out. I found this wood block was probably a little bit more solid wood than the other one. And I just put some hot glue in there and stick our bamboo stick down in there, forming our little Christmas tree. Super fun. Now let's decorate it. I thought we needed a tree topper. Now these are the blue molded Starfish that I get on Amazon, but I kind of wanted to be a little bit softer blue than it was. So I just distressed it all over with a little bit of ivory, just distressing it and softening up that blue color, which was a little more of a turquoise color. And then I thought, again, a little seashell on the base would look super cute. So I just use a seashell from my stash and glue that on the wood block, kind of disguising that. But it's definitely strong enough to make this little macrame Christmas tree stand up on its own. And this is how it looks. I think it's so cute with that little macrame pattern with all of the strings involved. You could always add ornaments to yours if you wanted a little bit more decor on there. Seashells would be perfect. But I really kind of wanted to go with just the rope feel on this one. So again, this one's a little bit smaller, but another little macrame version of a coastal Christmas tree. Okay, the next DIY, I picked up this sign at Goodwill for half price. It was only like $1.50, a nice boxwood sign, but you can use whatever you have. You could always use a Dollar Tree sign for this as well. I was just looking for something boxy that could kind of stand up on its own and a rectangular side. So I'm just going to clean up all the stickers off this one with a little heat and Goo Gone and give myself a clean surface. Now it is a bright red sign, so it is going to take a lot to kind of disguise that. But what I want to do on the sign is make a really fun little coastal angel DIY for Christmas. So once I got the back all cleaned up, I'm not going to go over all the writing. I think that's going to be harder. That's why I got the back so clean. So for the front of it, I just cover it with just some wood contact paper again. And I always cut my piece a little larger. That way I can just sand it off, get a perfect fit, and I have a nice finished back on my DIY. So that looks good, and now we can start painting the main sign. I'm going to again use Caribbean blue mixed with ivory to get this a very soft beachy blue. I think it works so well for Christmas. And I think it's going to be a great background for an angel. It will almost look like the sky. So I just start by painting all of the four sides because you're going to be able to see the sides as well, and you don't want them to be bright red, and the front. But again, I'm using acrylic and I'm going over red, so it is going to take a couple of coats to get good coverage on this. Once I get it all painted though, we are going to start building a really fun version of a coastal angel that I thought up. For the wings, we're just going to use ivory paint and a chunky brush, and we're just going to do like a distressed, like a feathery angel wing. I'm not using any kind of template or anything like this. I'm just kind of trying to think about what shape I want my angel wings to be, but you could always use a template if you wanted. And another option, you could always add, cut out some angel wings and attach it to it. But I kind of wanted this part of the sign to be actually painted on, and the rest of the angel we can create with texture. So I'm just kind of feathering this side out as well. Just trying to give it like that general like white, fluffy, feathery angel wings. And give it kind of that traditional angel shape. So I just kind of worked with mine a little bit until I was happy with it. And then we can attach the items to make the angel. For that, we're going to use the nautical rope jute. I'm using the 8-foot length from the Dollar Tree, but you can use whichever one you can find. I know rope can be hit or miss at Dollar Tree. I always try to grab quite a few when I see it. And I keep it actually in milk crates in my garage because I use so much rope with coastal crafting. I'm going to go ahead and take the tape off of the end here to give me a nice rope end, and we can start building this out. Now for the head, I'm just going to cut a little piece of the rope so we can form a little circle for the angel head. And I just do a circle of hot glue here above the wings. And I did have to trim mine down. It was a little long. And glue it together. Your edges of your rope are going to kind of fray on you a little bit, but you can kind of always hot glue them back into shape like that. Now for the halo, I thought it would be really fun to use some of this wire jute from Dollar Tree. That way we could have a halo that kind of sticks up on its own. So I'm just going to cut a little piece of that down too. And try to keep the twine on the wire as much as I can. That way it can kind of stick out with like a 3D vibe like that, but it's got the structure of the wire inside. So I use a little hot glue and glue that right on top where I can kind of bend that, forming a little angel halo. And now for the body of the angel, we're also going to use the Dollar Tree rope. And I want to like kind of use them vertically like this, where we can kind of fan these out, forming the body of the angel. So I just do one like straight down the middle. pretty much filling up the entire sign. And then this one I'm going to kind of zag out here for the right side of the angel body. I'm going to do the same thing over here on the left side like that. And then we're going to need shorter pieces to kind of fill in the gaps because we're going to have less room. So you're going to have to kind of cut your rope down to size. I want to keep going in kind of that straight up and down fashion, forming the angel body with that rope. Just cutting each piece a little bit shorter here. Kind of measuring each one. And then hot gluing that to our side. So that half of our angel body is complete. We just need to do the same thing over here on the other side. And I really love the textures on this with the rope. It looks very coastal, and how cute is that little halo on that angel. I love it. Now, the Dollar Tree rope can have a lot of strings on it, so I just go over mine with a lighter to kind of burn off any of the fuzzies on my rope, but I don't want to damage any of my angel sign. And then I thought maybe we should have the angel hold something, so I'm going to form little angel arms with just 2 more pieces of that Dollar Tree rope, where I can kind of curve those around to the front of the angel and have her hold a seashell. I thought that would be perfect for coastal Christmas. And so I form a little arm. This one was already kind of curved, so perfect. I just glue that to the side of the body, and then one time here right in front, bringing the little hands of the angel together. But again, they're going to be sticking out a little bit from the rest of the sign, kind of giving it a 3D appearance. And then I just want to attach the seashell. I just figure out which way is going to fit the best and glue that to the little rope angel. Now, you guys know I love distressing, and I didn't really distress the blue on this, so I did give mine just a very light dry brush, just to kind of mix that up a little bit, give it a little bit of a coastal farmhouse aging all the way around the sign. Just a final last touch, and I think this little angel is ready to go. She was so cute. I had so much fun putting her together, and I think she looks very beachy for Christmas. And this is how she turned out. I wasn't too sure about my angel wings, but I kind of like the abstract feel, but you could always make yours a little less abstract if you wanted, or maybe again add some fabric wings would be cute too, maybe with some white burlap. But I'm pretty happy with her. I think she's going to look great with my coastal Christmas decor. Okay guys, it's time for the Crafty Beach giveaway. In today's video, I'm going to be giving away these great Christmas tree ornaments from the Dollar Tree that look like coral. I know they're hard to find, and many of you guys have reached out to me that you would like some. So today I'm going to give away 20 ornaments, which is 10 packages of a 2-pack. And I'm going to give it away to one lucky winner. What you have to do is sub to my channel, and then somewhere in your comments below this video, I need you to use the word coral. That's what I'm going to search for when I do the drawing. And the only rules is that you have to be 18 years old and live in the continental United States. And I plan to do the drawing on Saturday. That way it'll give you a few days to watch this video and get entered in my contest. And good luck. Now back to the coastal Christmas DIYs. I picked up one of the little tinsel candy canes from Dollar Tree, and we are going to give this little candy cane a makeover. So the first thing I need to do is remove all of the tinsel from the candy cane and any kind of the decor they added on here. Just pretty easy to do, but sometimes it can be even easier just to kind of cut it up the middle. But I was trying to go around this little art shape as well. What I want to do is remake this candy cane and give it a more of a coastal or a nautical vibe using supplies from the Dollar Tree. I was kind of afraid the tabs might stick out on mine, so I just went in with some heavy duty scissors and went around and cut off all the tabs on mine first. Just to make sure that I didn't have to really kind of deal with those later, but it kind of depends on what size rope you're going to use. I'm using the skinnier white rope from the Dollar Tree, which is the 11-foot white rope. And we're going to recreate this and make it look way more high-end than it looked with the tinsel. So I'm going to start here at the base. What I want to do is wind the entire candy cane with Dollar Tree rope. So I just start with hot glue and actually glue the little wrapped end of the rope right there to the back. And you're going to want to make sure to get that super secure so that you can kind of pull on it to tug this around. So use a little hot glue to attach it to the front, and then just start wrapping that around kind of in a diagonal pattern, not like straight across. And we can wind that up the candy cane. So I'm trying to keep it as tight as I can so you won't be able to see any of that red cage through in the final product. And that is about how far 11 foot will get you. I make sure that my end is on the back so that I can glue that to the cage. And then I start my new rope right next to it. So we're on to rope piece number 2. And I keep winding that all the way up. Now it's going to get a little tricky when we're going around the curvy shape of the candy cane, but I'll show you how I ended up dealing with that. We're pretty much at the end of this rope anyway, but I can kind of skip a little triangular area and then just wrap it around a few areas, skip another one, and then I did 2. So kind of back and forth. And then we can go back and, fill in the little gaps with more rope. You just have to be a little bit more creative when you're roping a surface like turns like this. So now with my third piece of rope, I'm going to start here at the very tip of my candy cane on the back again. And we're going to start wrapping the candy cane from this direction this time. And I have to use lots of hot glue at the end just to make sure it stays put. And then I'm simply wrapping around until I can't really get any more in there because the inside is kind of full, as you can see. Now, I just wrapped mine around as tight as I could get it. I was trying to fill in that gap before I needed to start kind of skipping around again. So now I'm going to start here on the back by hot gluing it to itself and then bringing it back the other direction without bringing it around. Then I trim it down where it will fit in the gap and glue that in. It's going to give you the appearance of it being wrapped even though it's not, because you don't want all of that overlap on your rope. And then I glued a new piece in, bringing that to the back, again making a triangular shape, bringing that to the front, again making another triangular shape here to get down into that groove, kind of pushing that down in there, bringing it around to the back, and we're just going to keep repeating the triangular fashion instead of a complete wrap until we get that entire triangle filled up. So a little hot glue to kind of glue it to itself and cut this piece down, and we have the first triangular gap there all filled in with rope. But again, it really gives you that same woven pattern. You can't really tell on the outside edges that you're kind of stopping. So I do the same thing here on the top. I just started on the front with a piece, brought it to the back, formed a triangle, brought it around, using a little hot glue here and there to kind of tack it into place, and my scissors to kind of wedge it in there. So that is all filled up with rope, and now we can start to make our little rope candy cane look like a candy cane. So I'm going to use painter's tape, and we are going to do a pattern. I was trying to figure out exactly how I wanted my stripes to be. I have my rope kind of a diagonal the other direction, so we're kind of mixing it up for this one and going the other way. And I am just going to paint the front of it, so I just have to make sure the front and the sides of my candy cane are striped. Now for this part, I was trying to decide how am I going to do this, and I decided to continue that one stripe from the first side onto the second one, and then do 2 more stripes in between. And then I thought it was going the wrong direction since I kind of switched it up. So I brought it back around just like this. Now for the paint, I'm actually using Agave chalk paint by Waverly and a brush. Chalk paint works really good on fabrics and rope to paint the rope and change its color. And so this is going to work perfect for this. I'm using a brush so I can get down in between all the different pieces of the rope and give it this nice blue color. And instead of a red striped candy cane, we're going to have a beachy blue striped candy cane. It would look cute too in red if you wanted to do more traditional colors for your decorating for Christmas. So I just work my way all the way around until I have all of the exposed rope painted blue for my stripes. Now it's time to remove my painter's tape to reveal our stripes, and it actually did a great job of giving me some nice clean lines. I made sure to let it dry well, and then it's just a matter of taking all of this off. Doesn't it look so cute and beachy so far? I love the colors. It's a little bit darker than the other DIYs we've been using today, but I kind of like that turquoise feel. I think it's going to look nice with red. So I'm just using some red ribbon from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to make a little loop here for the back just by forming a little U shape and gluing that to the back of my candy cane. And then I really liked how that looked, so I decided to add more of the red ribbon to form a little Christmas bow. I just cut out some of the ribbon and tie a simple bow out of this red satin ribbon to decorate the top of our candy cane. I'm just making sure it looks super cute, and we're going to even up the edges. Just going to attach that with a dot of hot glue on the top of my candy cane. And let me show you how cute this looks. This is it hanging on my door for Christmas. I love the coastal blue colors and, you know, the little nod to nautical with the white rope. But I think the red is a nice contrasting color to display the little candy cane as well. And it looks really high end. I think it looks way better than it looked before when it was a part of the tinsel. Now for the next coastal Christmas tree, we're going to use a wreath form. We're actually going to use the witch hat wreath form. I thought this was the perfect shape for a Christmas tree. We just need to remove like the brim part of the hat. So I just kind of pull that back and forth. It breaks super easily where it comes together. And then I thought we could form the Christmas tree using some Dollar Tree rulers. What I was going for was a Driftwood Christmas tree. And I didn't think the wire crossbars were going to be strong enough to hold all of this together. So I went ahead and added the rulers to this design. Now I went ahead and painted the wreath form white. Originally when I was going to do this, I kind of wanted to do a floating Driftwood Christmas tree. So I thought that the white wreath form would kind of blend in with my white cabinets I was going to hang this on, and then I went ahead and broke off the two ends there on each side from the bottom. But I ended up covering more of it with driftwood, so you don't really have to paint it if you don't want to. But the rulers are going to be kind of the little stepping stones here of our Christmas tree. So I just kind of turn them over and then just mark them down so I'll know how long to cut those out with my saw, and cut 4 pieces. So I needed a total of 3 rulers for the little witch hat wreath form. And then I'm just going to glue the rulers with a little tab side down to give us that flat back to the ruler, and that's going to give us a really cute surface to attach driftwood. And this turned out really fun. Definitely like a coastal Christmas tree, very nautical as well. And we're going to kind of keep to the same color scheme that we used on the candy cane DIY, where we use a lot of turquoise and red together. So I think the rulers or any kind of a wood here is going to give you a little something to attach it to. You could also use like a wider popsicle stick. Now this is the driftwood that I'm using. I'll be sure to post a link here, a Target link. I know that it was on sale last week when I looked for it for $7 at Dollar Tree. And I love crafting with this driftwood because it's nice and flat, very uniform and clean. And then it's just kind of like putting a puzzle together. I just wanted to find pieces that would cover up my ruler and kind of look random too. And so I'm just picking out pieces that are going to cover it perfectly and piecing them all together to give us little driftwood levels to this Christmas tree, if you will. And so don't be afraid to kind of stack, use smaller pieces if you need to. And you can kind of build out a little bit with these as well, give it a more 3D look. I'm going to use like just this natural color, but you could always stain it a little darker if you wanted to. And we're just trying to fill up this final row here with driftwood, kind of continuing that random pattern all the way around. This is a really fun DIY to put together. Anytime I can craft with driftwood, I am game. Now, I just did notice these are vase fillers, the driftwood at my local Target. They decided to quit carrying them. So now I have to order them from Target.com. But if you have a Target Red Card, you can get free shipping if you spend $35. So that's not too bad. I'm stocked up on them for now. Now for garland, I'm going to start with some of this blue nylon cording that I got at Dollar Tree. It's a nice like teal color. It's kind of like a paracord material. And I just cut a piece to kind of drape along my driftwood like that. We're going to do the same thing here to kind of give it the appearance that it is kind of wrapped around the Christmas tree. I don't really like the white rope coming out of the ends on this, but we're going to make it work. Going to do the same thing here on row number 3 and row number 4 here of our Christmas tree. I love the touch of blue that this added and gave it a little fun element. Now next up for more garland, I decided to use Dollar Tree rope. I'm just using the brown rope and I'm cutting those the same length that we did the blue, and I just kind of alternated one on top, one on bottom until I worked my way down. Now I went ahead and got all 4 rows on when I decided that I didn't really like it. So I decided to use some of the white rope from the Dollar Tree and unwind it into a smaller rope. And I liked that better. So I'm going to cut down some of that rope for each one and do the same thing. I'm attaching them the same way. But I liked the white rope better than the brown rope this time. So just kind of gluing where I had the brown rope and filling that all in with that white rope. I think that looks a little bit better. Now for the brown rope parts, I thought that would look better where there was no driftwood, so might as well use these pieces. I already have them. I'm just going to go from one side of the wire frame to the other side. I just didn't like the brown on brown, so I wanted a little bit more contrast. Going to do the same thing over here, and it's going to give us the appearance more of the Christmas tree being wrapped with garland, or I guess this time rope. Going to cut down this piece a little smaller. It doesn't need much up here. But again, it's still giving us that appearance of a Christmas tree. And then I decided to go back in and fill in the sides. Remember, I said I kind of wanted to do a floating Christmas tree, but then I decided I didn't really like it. So I decided to switch mine up just by adding a piece of driftwood on each side piece. I went through and found the sizes that would fit well, and I just went in and glued those on the sides, and I'm really glad that I did. I like the Christmas tree shape better like this. I just couldn't figure out a way to do the floating driftwood without like some kind of obvious lines there. So I'm just going to glue those all in place, and you can never have too much driftwood on a DIY for sure. And again, I will post the link to this driftwood that I use from Target. It is one of my favorite craft materials I get from Target. Then I just go in and I'm going to trim up all of my rope garland, clean it all up, make it look a little bit neater on the sides. For ornaments, we're going to use some of these little wood cutouts of sea creatures. The sea turtle and the seahorse are from Dollar Tree from the Shore Living line, and the dolphin and the octopus, I actually got those on Amazon, and I think I have those linked in my shop below too. I'm just painting them all turquoise, this bright turquoise color, with a makeup sponge. And one thing I like better about the wood shapes from Amazon is they don't have the little ornament holes in them already. It kind of gives them a cleaner appearance that you don't have to fill in with spackle. But these are going to be the ornaments for my little driftwood Christmas tree. I'm just attaching them with hot glue. The cute little blue dolphin, the little octopus right over here. the Dollar Tree sea turtle and seahorse, and I did fill in the little ornament holes on those with spackle to try to close those up before I painted those. And just one for each row of the Driftwood Christmas tree. It's looking really colorful. I'm going to use a little twine here at the very top to make a hanger. And then I wanted some red. So these are the little foam sea life stickers from Dollar Tree from the Crafter Square. And I'm going to pick out some red crabs to bring in a little splash of red to contrast with that beautiful turquoise color. Once I get those on there, I decided to finish it off with a tree topper. I'm actually using a real starfish that I got on Amazon, but you could always use the one from the Dollar Tree. They're about the same size. I'm just going to paint mine red with some fire red acrylic to kind of give it another splash of red. And then I picked out another piece of that Target Driftwood, a wider piece, to form the little base, the little trunk of my Christmas tree. I glue that right underneath the ruler that was there on the bottom. And then our tree topper, our starfish, we had to do a starfish. I glued that right to the top of our little Driftwood Christmas tree. And this project was a little bit of an evolution, but I was really happy with how it turned out. So if you have one of those little witch hat wreath forms from the Dollar Tree, you can totally make your own coastal beachy Driftwood Christmas tree with it with just a few items. I like the rope garland and stuff like that. I think that really adds to like the nautical feel. And of course, I love the decoration of all of the little sea creatures all over. How cute are those little red crabs? And this is how it looks from a distance. Okay, let's do another coastal DIY. I found this great Christmas sign at the Dollar Tree. I really liked the white wood frame on it. I just kind of wanted mine to be horizontal. I wanted to make a little rectangular, really simple little Christmas sign. So I filled in the holes on the side with spackling, and then I'm going to use some of the whiteboard removable wallpaper from Dollar Tree and cut out a rectangular piece that's going to fit right inside. Super easy to peel and stick, and now I kind of have a blank canvas I can do whatever I want with, but it looks nice and coastal with a whiteboard frame and the whiteboards on the background. Now I do want to break it up a little bit and make it look a little less perfect with all those clean lines and everything. So I'm just distressing mine with a little bit of ivory just to bring a little bit more character to it and give it look like an old white board that you would find at the beach. Now for the decorations, I'm going to use a little wood Santa from Dollar Tree. I just fill in the little ornament hole on him because I just wanted a little wood Santa. I really wish they wouldn't make all of those little wood shapes actual ornaments, because sometimes you just want them for decor. Now to paint him, I used way too much paint, but I'm just using a turquoise acrylic and a little makeup sponge to give him a nice blue color. We're just gonna have him be like a little silhouette. And I also have a little wood palm tree. These are the little summer stickers from Dollar Tree. And I want that to be that nice turquoise color as well. I'm gonna then distress it with a little bit of ivory to kind of give it a coastal farmhouse charm. And that's it. No details or anything. I just want silhouettes. Then I'm going to take one of these little Christmas ornaments from Dollar Tree. This one says Merry Christmas, red and white. I thought that'd be cute. I am removing the black and white ribbon and the greenery on there. Just didn't really go with the vibe of this project. And then I'm just going to take some twine and staple that into the back of the frame, so that I can make this little dollar sign a horizontal sign instead of the vertical sign that it originally was. And the frame is thick enough so you can use your staple gun. Just don't miss like I always tend to do because I can't really see at that angle. Now I'm going to just burn off the fuzzies there on my little hanger, and then we can decorate this sign. I'm going to do a little palm tree over here. It's smaller so it can be in the distance. We can have our little beachy blue waving Santa here in front. He'll be larger. I decided to use a little wooden domino piece just to kind of make him a little bit more 3D if I could, by gluing that to the back and gluing that right here in front. And I just wanted a really simple Christmas sign. I thought this would be really cute together. And it goes with the color scheme of the other DIYs we've done. I didn't really appreciate the glitter on there, so I toned mine down with just a coat of matte Mod Podge to take down some of the sheen, make it less sparkly to kind of go more with the coastal vibe. That does help a little bit. And then I thought we could do the little tags up here in the corner where they kind of go down over the side of the sign. And I just attached those to the frame with hot glue and a little hot glue underneath each one of the little tag ends there. Just a very simple DIY. To cover up the greenery and bow that was on there before, I'm just going to use a seashell for my stash and a sand dollar. I actually got that sand dollar on Amazon. It's a real one. Super cute and goes with the beachy vibe. And then also a larger little seashell down here in the corner that I actually got from Dollar Tree. It's pretty easy and simple, but I like it, and it makes a fun little Christmas sign for my coastal kitchen. And I do really like the turquoise contrasting with the red. I think they look really nice together. Now for our next coastal Christmas DIY. I have loads of them for you today. We are going to remake a little tinsel Christmas ornament from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to try to make it look like a fishing float. I thought it was a perfect size, and like one of the little glass fishing floats with the netting on it is what I was going for. So it's just a matter of removing all of the tinsel, and I even cut off the tabs just so they won't really get in the way. I'm not going to be able, of course, to make it look like glass, but I thought I could just use fabric to give me the color. And I actually found this really great like turquoise fabric from Crafter Square at Dollar Tree, and I think it's going to be plenty big to cover the entire fishing float. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that down on top, pulling the sides around. If I go ahead and cinch everything up here in the middle, on the back, I can just pull it tight, and it really does keep the shape. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I thought that would be the easiest way to attach it to a round shape like this. So I just cinch all of the fabric here in the back, and I'm actually just using a zip tie to cinch it all together, trimming off the excess fabric. We're going to add netting to this, which is going to make it a tighter design, but that was a quick, easy way to cover the ornament with fabric. Now this is the twine that we're going to use, and I want to kind of start here like in the middle diagonally. So I just tie that all the way around the ornament or a fishing float, and then I want to keep that same pattern going in a diagonal line. I cut off another piece and knot that around, cinching it up against the fishing float. And I did have to kind of hot glue that a little bit to kind of keep that one in place so it doesn't just slide off the edge. What I'm wanting to recreate with this twine is like a fishing net that you would see on one of these fishing floats. So I cut off another piece, and we're keeping that same diagonal pattern going. And again, I am going to have to use a little hot glue to keep this in place here on the back of my ornament. I just glue the corners in place and then go back in and tie that off on the back. I'm just hiding all of my knots so far there on the back. Then we can switch it up and start going the other way. So I'm going to go on the other side of the ornament top like that. And then we're going to just start making the netting. So I just tie that off to that one, pull it through, knot it on this one. And you can see that it's going to form a cute little net, and it's going to help keep it all together too. So that takes me all the way around this side. Going to do another knot over here just for a little bit of decor. Wrap it all the way around. Don't have to really glue it at this point because we have the net forming. Tie it off on the first one, the second one, and the third one. Since you're tying the rope on rope, you can kind of slide it back around if you need to kind of do your spacing and stuff like that. That's about all the rope I had for this one, so I just tied it off to the center of my rope there in the back, but it is going to need a little bit more twine, I think, to finish off this netting pattern. So I just tie to one of the ropes on the back, And then just keep repeating that pattern going across. And you can kind of see it coming together, like the look of a glass fishing float. This one was really fun to make, super creative, and I've never seen anyone like it. And I thought I might have room for one more row over here. So I'm going to go ahead and tie that to the back. I want it to look very like lots of quadrants, lots of netting on the front. So I just attached that to the back, tied both on the front, came back here. I tied a lot to the middle to kind of give me a base there in the back to make it nice and sturdy. And then I thought I need like maybe one more. So again, I'm going to tie to the center, pulling that around, and then just knot it each time you go through one of the other ropes. I love DIYing like fishing net and stuff like this. I always think it's so fun to do. And this twine actually worked out really well for it. It might be cute to do it with like some of the the macrame cord too, if you wanted like a contrasting color or a white fishing net. That might be something fun that I might need to try this year. And any pieces that weren't real secure, I just hot glued to the back, so all of the pretty stuff's on the front. Now for the top of the little fishing float, I just tie twine around. We're going to cover up pretty much all of the fabric that's left on there, hot gluing that to the top. And I really love how this turned out. It was so fun to do. I do need to do one more to make a simple hanger, and I just tie a knot on there, forming a little bit of a loop, and then making sure that everything was glued down and secure here to the very top of the ornament. And it definitely looks a lot different now, right? I thought the perfect final touches would be some Dollar Tree wooden fish. These are the ones that kind of move around. I'm just going to leave them natural wood, and then I'm going to use some of this little felt ribbon from the Dollar Tree in a bright red to give me that red and turquoise look that we've been doing. I did all these DIYs for my kitchen and dining room area for Christmas, and they looked so cute. So I just tied that around my fishing float, and then I am just going to string them up like fish on a stringer. So I just use a little hot glue and attach that red felt right there to the back. And they're just going to hang down two little strung fish on the side of my fishing float. Definitely going to go more with that nautical coastal feel and really fun to do. And you could paint your fish too if you wanted. I kind of liked the natural feel of the wood, and I think they turned out really cute. So there they are, strung up on our little fishing float. And then I thought I would finish the whole thing off with just a little red bow made with some Dollar Tree red satin ribbon. Just tie a simple red bow here, and then I can kind of put that right there where it all comes together at the top of the fish. It makes it look a little festive for Christmas, but I love the fishing float idea. This little tinsel ornament from the Dollar Tree was just the right size to try to pull something like this off. And I think it's really unique and fun for Christmas. This would be really cute like in a lake house or something like that, as well as a beach house. And you know, anyone can have a beach house, even if you live in the middle of nowhere. Now for the next DIY, I am going to use another ornament. This time I'm using the galvanized metal one. This one's a little smaller. I'm going to paint the entire thing with ivory paint. It's going to take a couple of coats. You could use Mod Podge, but I actually had pretty good luck with a couple coats of acrylic. We're going to make this ornament look like a fishing bobber. So I kind of just sketch a line on there with my red Sharpie, and I'm just going to use some red acrylic. We're going to paint the very bottom part of the ornament bright red, with the top part staying like that ivory white color. And then the very top of the ornament, we're going to paint that red as well. And it's going to look just like a fishing bobber, because you know, a Christmas ornament and a fishing bobber are like the same exact shape. For the front of it, I thought we could use one of the little galvanized metal words from the Dollar Tree. The only one that's going to fit on this smaller one is Joy, but I think that's going to work perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and leave this one galvanized metal. I am going to use a little bit stronger glue because metal on metal can be a little challenging for hot glue. And I just use some stronger glue, put that on the back, and we're just going to put Joy right here on the front of our fishing bobber Christmas ornament. This was so easy to do. And then I'm just going to take some twine and make a little hanger. This would make a really cute, like oversized ornament for a coastal Christmas tree as well. To finish it off, I thought we could use a couple of the little jingle bells from the Dollar Tree. They're going to match with the galvanized metal from the Joy and be a cute little Christmas touch. I'm just going to tie some on twine and we can string those around the very top of the bobber just to give it a little final finishing touch. I strung 2 on the same piece, having it where I can kind of wrap it around it and have them hang down. Just going to tie that together because I didn't really make it quite long enough. And then I thought maybe we could string one more here. Just tying that off. And how cute and easy is this little coastal DIY? I looked at this and I thought, this needs to be a fishing bobber, and I think it's so fun for Christmas. It is traditional color, so you can use this with any decor, but it definitely goes great for a coastal or nautical Christmas DIY. Isn't that so sweet? I was really impressed with how easy that was to paint the metal. I always thought you had to use glue on them first, but I really didn't have much trouble with this one. And I wanted to thank you so much for making it all the way to the final reveal of my video. Whenever you watch the whole video, it helps my channel so much. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to sub so that you can enter my contest. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers. Like this video if you enjoyed it. And be sure to enter the word that I told you to enter below to enter the contest to win these great coral Christmas tree ornaments. Enjoy the final reveal.
Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand, you and me. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand, you and me. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
Here we go. All right.
Dance, dance,
Now this
dance,
Christmas, we're gonna dance.
we're gonna
Okay.
dance, dance, dance,
Come on.
dance. We're gonna dance, dance, have a good time. Dance, dance, all night long. We're gonna dance, dance, and have a good time. I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand, you and me. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. Hold up, I am on my way, I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You and me. Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sun said it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline paint.
I wanted to give a huge thank you to all of my Crafty Beach Bum members. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. To Karen O'Haron, Coastal Couple, Pamela Bergeron, I Am Mojo Jojo, Melinda Elizabeth, Jamie Job, Susan Edmonds, Sandra Ray, Carrie R., Tracy Knight, Verna Noctigal, Nancy Wunner, Julie Miller, Jan Zalata, Tammy Coates, Janae Farrington, Pamelia Wren, Whitney Harrison, Butterfly Mama, Maria Grace, Donna Schreiner, and Tina Kane. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. I really appreciate it. Every little bit helps. If you would like to join my membership, again, it's $4.99 a month, and you're going to get early ad-free access to my videos. And all you have to do is hit the join button on my YouTube page or underneath this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to watch more Crafty Beach, YouTube thinks you might enjoy this video right here.